What's up, everybody? We're back again with another video. I am currently unboxing Josh DeLeese's S15 coilovers that Stance just sent us so we can put them in his car. So we're doing another unboxing because these are a little bit different than the last XR1s we unboxed. These are the D1 Spec. So these are pretty fancy. So we're gonna take a look and see what's so different about them. And we're gonna go over all the details of the D1 Spec coilovers. Because D1 Spec is kind of one of those things where if you knew, you knew. And we're kind of looking to change that. I just got off the phone with Stance and I was like, yo, we gotta put all this stuff on the website. We gotta make sure people know about this because these are the best coilovers you can get for a drift car, honestly. And we're gonna go over some of the reasons why. Stay tuned. We'll go into the front one first because the front coilover is always the best looking coilover. These are the D1 Spec XR1 coilovers. And these are for an S15 application. So we're gonna go over some of the differences right now, just because, you know, we have other videos explaining more of the standard Stance XR1 details, but we're gonna just focus on the drift spec, the D1 Spec version today. So when you go to order these on our website, there's gonna be a little section that mentions some stuff we wanna know. So the things we wanna know is what engine are you using in the car? This pretty much just tells the Stance what size spring rates they need to go with. The application you're going to be running, are you gonna be using it on the street? Are you gonna be using it on the track only? Are you gonna be having a mix of the two? And then your desired height. So we kinda need to know what the style of the car is, because if the car's gonna be slammed, then the whole suspension needs to be kind of redesigned a little bit. You'll see why once we go over this stuff. But if the car's gonna be more of like a Mahon style, like taller car, you could put fingers in between the tire and the fender height, something along those heights, then that's mainly what these were designed for, so you're gonna be good. But we need to know that before we put the order in and process the order so that when they build them, they know what they're gonna be doing. So one of my favorite parts of the XR1 coilovers in general is the front inverted shock design. It prevents binding. There's a lot of benefits to having the design this way rather than having the skinny part of the shock up top exposed. So these coilovers are assembled and valved in the USA. At Stance USA in Chicago specifically. And damn, these are fancy. This is cool, man. I haven't really seen a set of these in a while. I think they changed some stuff on them, but they're definitely a good looking set of coilovers. So we just talked about things you guys got to tell us before you order these. And like I said, the reasoning is because a lot of features that are added into these, it kind of depends on ride height and stuff like that. The rear shocks specifically, I know have a longer travel on the D1 Spec, and that will affect, ride height will affect that depending on how low the car is, so they definitely need to know things like that. Helper springs are also included, front and rear for the D1 Spec, and custom spring rates are chosen usually by Stance themselves. I mean, you guys can mention stuff that you want to do, but if you're getting a set of Stance D1 Spec XR1 coilovers, Stance is pretty much going to decide what spring rates need to be sent with them. If a longer consultation or more information is needed other than just 3 notes written down on the order sheet, then Stance will reach out to you guys directly and have a conversation so they know exactly which spring rates to give. Like we mentioned, these are going on Josh's new S15 build. And the spring rates they decided to go with are 8K in the front and 5K in the rear. I don't know enough about suspension to dive into why they went with those options, but I know when I was getting my XR1 coilovers and they were custom valved and spring rates chosen by Stance, they definitely had different ideas than I did. So they know what they're talking about. They have a shock dyno over there where they actually put these through the test as well. So after they're done valving and assembling these coilovers, they put them on their dyno and they test them. So the quality control is unmatched. So these coilovers are coming straight to you and they're already tested. They know they're gonna work. You pretty much can't ask for anything more. And to be honest, the price point, not that bad. Out the door on our website, you're looking at around $2,000. I think a little bit over $2,000 for a set of these. With all the extra work that goes into these coilovers, if you're doing any sort of competition drifting, especially grassroots stuff, I would say this is the #1 coilover system to go with. So right over $2,000. And then if you want to get Swift springs, which everyone knows Swift springs are a huge upgrade, that is an option that is available with these as well. So they would just give you custom spring rates, but they would be Swift springs. All right, as we mentioned, the rear has an extra long stroke design and also helper springs included. Another thing they include is the bearing spring seat upgrade on the rear coilovers, and that's what this blue thing is right here. So instead of the normal XR1 coilovers, this one has an actual bearing in the top of the rear spring seat. So it's actually pretty awesome. Now, I just got off the phone with Stance and I made sure to get some information on this because I think this is an upgrade that you can add to an XR1 coilover anyway, but it's, that's all. Then we got to do custom pricing and we got to find out, and who knows if they're going to have them in stock. So that's a whole nother situation. But when you buy these, you get it automatically. And I was wondering myself, well, why aren't these just on XR1s? And the reason is they say that they do add a little bit of noise to the cabin. So I don't know how much. I've never ran them myself, but I have a feeling it's probably not that serious. But for people with really nice daily driving cars, Stance decided that these were not necessary. So they just removed them and put the regular rubber isolator in there. And I mean, the standard XR1 coilovers work fine, but this bearing upgrade is really nice. And they say it does help a lot with the rear suspension under load and stuff like that. Guys, these are also 16-way adjustable as far as dampening is concerned. The rear is right on the top. And then the front ones, due to the inverted design, are on the rear. So these are right underneath the knuckle mount. Pretty easy to get to depending on how low your car is. If your car is slammed, then I mean, it's gonna be harder to get to, but yeah, not bad to adjust on the fly. Standard top hats, nothing changed there. So you still got camber adjustment from the top hat, and you still have the standard pillow ball mount. All right, guys, so that pretty much covers the Stance D1 Spec coilovers. I'm pretty excited to put these on Josh's car. I'm sure we'll have an install video on these as well and a video of us setting them up. So guys, if you're looking for the best drifting coilovers for your car and you want dynamic and custom valving, look no further. Stance XR1 D1 Spec coilover suspension. Let's go put these in the car. I was trying to walk out of frame, but you follow me.
Oh, a little adventure is all I really need.